Ovechkin gets behind the defense, walks in, shoots, and scores! Alex Ovechkin on the toe drag, right to the cooker, he scores! Go do your shot, deflected, scramble, they score!
All right, let's just get started. I'll go ahead and, we're recording already. I'm going to go ahead and start the stopwatch. This is the Ron Talk-Nutt Invitational podcast, right?
Ron Talk-Nutt.
No, it's a Talk-Nutt, like we're talking.
The Talk-Nutt.
Okay, everyone, welcome to the first ever Ron Talk-Nutt Invitational. Why are you laughing, Mike? We should. Okay, this is a mistake. We should have never done this on video. Let's just get right to this. But this is our first ever Ron Talk-Nutt Invitational podcast to all dozen of our listeners that are in our league. I'm being pretty generous with that dozen too. So first subject, we are week 14? Is that correct, guys? Am I looking at that? Week 15. We are in week 15. 9 more weeks left in the season. Absolutely zero trades. Ton of moves, ton of pickups and drops. With Mike here, I think has 25 moves. No one's, I think, within single.
I play the matchups.
Hey, no, that's not a criticism. Credit to you. I haven't been paying as much attention this year as previous years, but no trades. We've gone. I think this is probably the longest we've gone without trades. Commissioner, does that sound about right?
That sounds about right.
Normally we get a panic trade or two right about now, so that might be coming up. But I mean, what do you guys think? What do you think is holding up the trades? Is it because no one in our league gives a crap about this league, or is it just like everyone's scared because?
Christian, I'd like to interject real fast.
Go ahead.
Let's get this thing started. I did open up my Yahoo Fantasy app this morning to a nice gift from the Brian Merkel, which was a trade proposal. I just want to hear everyone's thoughts on this because for me it was kind of a joke.
Okay.
He was saying, I don't remember. He wanted Max Pacioretty, who, don't get me wrong, has been on a little bit of a slump recently, but he's still a top 15 forward. And I think who are you trying to offer?
Definitely a top 15 winger. Definitely a top 15 winger, right?
I don't know how to say his name. What?
He's definitely a top 15 winger at the very least.
Okay, so top 15 winger, and then Brian is trying to trade me. Who was the skater? He was doing Winnipeg's. How do you say that?
So here's the deal. It was Max Pacioretty for Leon Draisaitl and Connor Hellebuyck.
Okay.
No. Okay, those were 2 waiver wire pickups.
Yeah.
Draisaitl has been a stud. Don't get me wrong. Okay, Hellebuyck, or however you say it, is worse than Mrazek, so he's definitely
in a tougher division too. In a tougher division.
What?
In a tougher division in the Central.
Definitely worse. He's going to get very few wins, and who knows? Michael Hutchinson could take the job back. That's a terrible trade.
Yeah. Well, Draisaitl. That Draisaitl is interesting because he'll always be with Taylor Hall. So even though he's a waiver wire pickup, I don't necessarily think that's like an indictment on the player. I mean, he's been pretty damn good this year.
His name's Leon.
Yeah, he's German.
Yeah,
he's German.
Positive.
That's a positive right there.
No,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It's the only thing he's got.
You win this name trade. I mean, Hellebuyck and Leon for Max. I mean, that's a dog's name. So you win that trade off names alone. I'm guessing you're leaning no for that one, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I already canceled the trade. I think that's
yeah. I think.
I was going to do a counter.
Sorry, bro. I would have done the same thing.
The problem is none of his forwards would even make my team.
That's the classic strength for strength trade we're looking at. You know, we've been talking about Mike's goalie carousel a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I think he needs a little bit more stability in net there. I think he gets that with Hellebuyck. And when you've got, I mean, let's lay all the cards on the table here. Mike's got a pretty good offense. He could afford to.
I would say Mike might have one of the 3 best, probably top 2 wingers, forwards. Definitely forwards.
I think I have the best forwards. Just throwing that out there. I don't know if you guys have heard that before.
Well, the only reason I have any reservations is because for some reason Brian's third team got Patrick Kane and Jamie Benn on the same damn team, and Andrei Kopitar. So
that's a shame. That's a real damn shame.
Anyways, I got a few reasons why I don't think we're seeing a whole lot of trades. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this. All right?
Yeah.
So, dot number 1. Expansion to 14 teams.
Yep,
I feel like there's just not a whole lot of talent to go around, so people are less willing to trade talent that they do have.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, the talent's just so stretched out across all these teams that you get rid of one person, you could actually like screw yourself out of a playoff spot. Like that's with any league, even a 10-team league, you probably screw yourself out of a playoff spot with one. But here, it's definitely
the risk is a little bit higher.
A lot higher. I would say a lot higher. That's for sure. What's your other? I mean, you said you had a couple reasons. What's your other reasons?
The other reason is if you go to the league homepage right here, and you take a look at the standings. Top 8 make the playoffs. Number 8 is Meghan right now with 6 wins. Dead last is Steve Miller, and he's out of it. Okay, so 13 has 5 wins. All right, so you're looking at numbers 4 through 13 in the league are separated by 3 wins.
Yeah, that's
I feel like everyone thinks they're still kind of in it, so they don't really want to blow up the team.
Who do you think thinks that they're in it but doesn't deserve to think that they're in it? Who's got an idea that they're going to make the playoffs when they really have no chance?
Maybe Steve.
Me?
No, I think any of these top 13 teams could still make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Let me take a look at your boy Steven's team. Who's he around? Claude Giroux. He's got a pretty solid offense. I'm not going to lie. His defense, I think, is pretty underwhelmingly terrible.
Now, underwhelmingly
he's
terrible.
Starting injured reserve Jake Allen. So not only is he starting a backup, he's starting a backup that's on fire.
Underwhelmingly terrible. Does that mean? Does underwhelmingly terrible mean that it's more terrible than you thought, or less terrible than you thought, or it should be?
I thought Giordano was going to be much better than he was. I think Mark Streit could have been better. Sakura's irrelevant.
Is it like he's like 100 years old?
Well, I mean, sure, I guess what I was going for more is that Giordano, that whole Calgary defense has been, I think a lot of original hype, and they've been pretty bad. So can't be drafted them next year too high, unless you're Allison and you just get top 2 forwards in the league, and then you can afford to have a bunch of Calgary defensemen on your team. But
yeah, those 2 guys can just carry you to first place, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Well,
what's he at? Kane's pushing 70 points already?
I think isn't he already at 70 points?
No,
he's close. He's not. He's a freak.
He's at 69.
I knew the answer to that.
You just wanted somebody to say it.
Okay, so what was the third reason, Brian? We said.
I only had 2. I said a few when I should have said a couple. That's my bad.
English is not your strength.
I think that's fair.
In addition to the fact that nobody apparently cares.
I care.
Unless you've made it this far in the podcast. What are we, 5 minutes in?
Actually, I think we might be 6 minutes in. Oh, okay. Let me.
Only the diehards.
We're 7 minutes and 45 seconds in. But I mean, speaking of these trades, okay, let's put the countdown clock when Joel's going to pick up Vinny LeCavalier. Right, he's on like a 2-goal scoring streak right now. But I mean, what real life NHL trades or potential real life NHL trades you think could actually shift the tide? I mean, of the Talk-Nutt, because I know I'm holding on to Jonathan Drouin for my dear life because he's probably going to get traded or could get traded. There are a couple guys that are out there. I think Travis Hamonic is still available, and he could very well get traded. Actually, maybe not to as great of a situation as he could with the Islanders, but nonetheless, I mean, are there any possible trades that are out there that you think could affect this league?
Possible trades that haven't happened yet?
That haven't happened yet, or maybe even trades that have happened yet. I know I picked up Carl Hagelin at like 3 a.m. after. Yeah, I drank a warm glass of milk before going to bed and didn't put me to sleep.
To the top of this league is going to be Ryan Johansson not being a pussy in Nashville. Because he's been real good so far, and that's a big upgrade from him getting third-line minutes down in the powerhouse Columbus team.
Oh, yeah. Brian, you still have Ryan Johansson, right?
I do. Big fan of that trade for fantasy purposes.
Oh, I'm sure you are. I mean, well, I'm surprised that he's trading as good a situation. Columbus got as good of a player in return. I mean, you were holding on to him for dear life. I mean, kind of what was the the worst case scenario as far as like what team he could land on that you were just really hoping he would not, land on, and because you kept him for so damn long and could have definitely traded low there, but you didn't. You held on. Looks like it's paying off. What were you kind of thinking during this whole trade rumor phase for?
Yeah, I think you kind of mentioned it. I couldn't really get rid of him just because I didn't want to sell extremely low on Ryan Johansson. But to be honest, I really didn't care where he went. When you've got such a dog shit coach like John Tortorella, literally there are 29 extremely more profitable options for Ryan Johansson.
I'm going to interject here real quick. We're 10 minutes in. I'm willing to give you the floor for the remaining 20 minutes or so that we'll have to just go ahead and trash John Tortorella if you want.
I will save that for another episode.
You think that's a full?
Once we expand to an hour. Expand
to an hour.
Okay. He's a great guy. He's got good hair.
Hey, I sympathize with good hair people.
Good hair. Yeah.
I sympathize with good hair people, so I'm very follically gifted, and that's about it. Well, I mean, what do you guys think? I know the Carl Hagelin trade happened, and Brian, we were texting a little bit. You mentioned that you actually are kind of looking out for David Perron, which somehow Joel has David Perron. And I mean, what do you think about that trade? I mean, I know it's not Hagelin because there's a chance that he's with either Sid or Gino, and he's, I think, with Gino now. Well, I mean, what do you guys think as far as that trade specifically?
I mean, I think it's only up. It can only be up.
Right. I mean, Hagelin was kind of Hagelin was dog shit with
playing with somebody that's pushing 90 points. Playing 90-point season.
Yeah.
Like you can't really complain too much.
Hagelin was kind of dog shit with what's his face with Kessler, but the one thing I worry about him is that he's just all speed, and I mean, not much. I don't really pay attention to Carl Hagelin. I'm not like a president of his fan club or anything. But you guys catch any Anaheim games this year? I mean, I just feel like I know with the Rangers. I mean, everyone was talking about his speed, but I don't think he ever pushed more than like 35 or 40 points or something like that.
Yeah, the thing that worries me about Hagelin is, I mean, you're talking what his third or fourth team in the past year and a half, it seems like.
And he's really young, too.
Some reason that these teams don't want him. And sure, he'll start out with Sid or Gino probably, but...
Maybe Hagelin is just Patrick Sharping everyone's wives, like, or girlfriends, just...
Actually, Patrick Sharp was a big pickup for Brian. Very surprised that that's panned out, because I think he's such a shitty player.
What a segue.
Sorry, I hate that.
No, that's great.
The one we're talking about real life NHL trades that could happen.
Yeah.
Stamkos getting out of Tampa.
Those were the two I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Stamkos and Drouin. And Mike, you're a Steve Stamkos owner. Christian, you're a Jonathan Drouin owner. What are you guys hoping happens?
Well, I've been looking at rumors. Well, not really rumors, but I guess I know. I think Brian, I think you do too. You follow Travis Yost. I don't know if Mike, you do on Twitter. And I don't even know if you have Twitter. But I think I saw something that Travis Yost said that he saw Drouin might go to the Senators for like Cody Ceci or something along those lines, and maybe like a first or probably a first and some other pieces. With the Senators, I mean that would be. I mean, with Erik Karlsson on that team, like who's a big time point producer. I'm sure that could help Drouin, but the rest of that team, I mean, they just get caved in, and like I guess when you have a player like Drouin who could, who's a playmaker, that might help their situation a little bit. But I mean, offensively, they've been terrible. I mean, Karlsson's been great, and Craig Anderson's been great.
I wouldn't say terrible.
I mean, not terrible, but like as far as like you look at the advanced analytics and all that stuff, and they've been not great. They've been probably closer to the bottom of the league as far as that stuff goes. And Drouin would nothing but help that, but I see that, and I get just concerned, like who's going to be? I mean, is he going to be line mates with Bobby Ryan, who's kind of hit or miss? I mean, or who's going to be helping him? Who's going to be putting the puck in the net when he's distributing, or who's going to give him the puck? So I do worry a little about the Senators. As far as I'm not sure who else. I mean, who else is in this trade rumor? Mill for
St. Louis is probably one of the most likely ones. Actually.
Oh, St. Louis.
Would he be playing on the second line, or
would he be playing with Tarasenko? I mean, if he's playing with Tarasenko, I'm glad I keep him. But who's he playing with? Like to Mike's point, who's he playing with in St. Louis?
That kind of would depend on how much value Drouin has on St. Louis, because if he's playing with Tarasenko, then obviously that's a
That's a no-brainer.
great move.
Put your stick on the ice and hope Tarasenko bounces it off.
Right, but I mean, other than Tarasenko, there's no real offensive weapons on that team. Maybe Alex Steen.
Yeah, Alex Steen's pretty good.
But beyond that, it's a little underwhelming, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. They're trying to bring in somebody that's,
I think we can. I think we can all agree on whatever team he's going to. He's going to get more playing time on that team than he is with Lightning right now because he's in the AHL, right?
Yes. Well, when he's not playing in the games, it doesn't help him get.
Yeah, I guess theoretically go minus. That's about it. Like that's
true.
literally the only way that would hurt holding on to Drouin right now.
Yeah.
But with Stammer is going to Toronto, right?
Well, I think a few weeks ago I was all for Stamkos getting out of there because he wasn't putting up any points, and then the last couple weeks he's sort of been catching fire. So I've got mixed feelings. I think the good thing is wherever he would go would be a team that's trying to make the playoffs at least. So at that point, you're probably going to be contributing some offense. But at the same time, anytime that there's been one of those headliner trades that I've been a part of, I remember Vanek going down to the Islanders. I thought that was going to be a huge home run, and it turned out to be kind of underwhelming. So I don't know. I think I always like being a part of those trades, and then it never pans out. So we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't be too upset if he stayed in Tampa either.
Yeah, I mean Tampa's loaded. I mean, I keep seeing Stamkos to Toronto, and I imagine that might suck for you. I think that would suck royally for you. I mean, Babcock's a great coach, and that might be good for obviously next year or the year after or something like that. But this year,
well, how long is JVR out? Isn't he
6 to 8 weeks?
6 to 8 weeks. Wow. How long ago was that though?
A week ago.
A week ago. Okay. I don't pay much attention to Toronto.
When the listeners are listening to this podcast, it'll probably be a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Man, we're. I just like to point out we're about 17 minutes in, and we're still in our first topic. So I think it's going pretty smoothly.
I've got one more, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Yes.
In order that we're not just talking about our own teams, I'm sure Joel is very interested where Dustin Byfuglien's going to end up.
I'm interested as a Caps fan because I keep seeing some things that he might land on the Caps, but where is Joel?
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it is either. I don't think it is either. I was very shocked when I saw that, but somehow.
What are you thinking, Brian?
You know how much Dale Talon likes his ex-Blackhawks. I'm thinking Dustin Byfuglien could be laying on some beaches pretty shortly here.
Some beaches.
Yeah, down in Miami.
Yeah.
Huh. Wait, Dustin Byfuglien with Aaron Ekblad potentially?
Well, I think they like the Aaron Ekblad Brian Campbell combo.
Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot they have Brian Campbell. Holy crap.
But you're still probably looking at top power play minutes. And
oh, for sure.
If you're not, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I think a really good situation for Byfuglien if that's indeed where.
You think that's a good situation? I feel like they're a very overperforming team right now. I think Luongo's been standing on his head in the last couple games. He's been coming down. So I don't know if I want any of my fantasy players to be involved with that team, which I don't think have the offensive power to put the goals on the board. So if I were you, Christian, I'd be pretty worried if he ended up in Florida.
Well, Joel's the Byfuglien owner.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, my question is though, I mean, because we've seen him play wing in Winnipeg. I feel like Florida's needs are definitely, forwards at this point, right? I mean, defensively, they could. I mean, when you have a pair like Ekblad and Campbell, that's pretty damn good. I mean, the Branson isn't.
But that's about it.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I feel like I feel like their forwards are a little more. My question is, do you think Byfuglien gets moved to the wing if he goes to Florida?
I think that'd be a crime. I think he's way too good at defense.
Oh, I agree. But I mean, some coaches aren't smart.
We are though.
I can coach Florida, right?
We should be coaching the Panthers.
I know. No, I don't think Florida's a good spot for Byfuglien. If you're a fantasy owner, maybe like real life hockey fan, and you're Florida and you want looking to make a move, but I don't think you want to be a part of that if you're a fantasy owner.
Is Florida the front runner?
I mean, right now they were in first in the Atlantic.
Well, no, I'm talking about for the Byfuglien sweepstakes.
Oh, Oh.
I've got no real substantial evidence that that's the case. But
I mean, who are the front runners at this point for Buffalo?
the two teams that I've heard, well, the Capitals, but I don't think that's really going to be the case.
I don't think that's possible.
I don't think they can make that happen with the Cap.
Well,
but I've heard Florida and LA as the two.
Fuck, LA would be sick nasty.
LA would be scary. Yeah.
I
think that would hurt his fantasy value, actually. I think Buffalo on Florida's better fantasy owned than Buffalo on LA.
Why?
Does he get more power play minutes in Florida, you think?
Probably power play minutes will be there wherever for a guy like Dustin Buffalo.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I ask that because like Ekblad and Campbell get a ton of power play minutes, don't they?
Yeah, and so does Drew Doughty and Jake Muzzin.
That's true.
I mean, it's going to be about the same situation in terms of power play time.
Okay.
But I think Florida's got more offensive firepower than LA does.
Oh, I disagree with that. At least LA's got like two solid lines.
Yeah, and they constantly get a ton of shots on goal, but in terms of converting on those chances,
Oh, I mean, aren't you saying that shooting percentage should be essentially even for everybody though, in the long run?
Not for LA. They've consistently had lower shooting percentages just based on the system that they're running there, and they just make up for it by pumping twice as many shots on goal.
But still, don't they have some leaders in terms of fantasy points right now? Like, what's Kopitar?
I feel like Kopitar's up there. Jeff Carter's doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think either would be a good situation for Buffalo. Don't get me wrong. I think they're both better than Winnipeg. I think wherever he gets still, it's going to be.
Well, I mean, you think about it. But if he goes to LA, he plays in the Pacific, and I would say LA has far worse goalies than the Atlantic does.
It is true. It is true.
Like far worse. Like I think Dave might be able. I think Dave might be able to suit up for one of the Pacific teams at goalie.
Wait, what are you saying?
I think Dave. I think Dave might be able to suit up. Hello.
What are you saying?
I said Dave might be able to suit up for one of the Pacific teams at goalie.
Only if he can lay his stick on the ground.
Behind him. Don't worry, he's got the corners covered. It's a 5-hole.
Oh gosh.
Is that kid turned into an anime character yet?
Just turn it into one.
He just did. He just did.
Yeah.
All right, going off on a tangent. I'm probably gonna delete this part. I'm probably gonna delete this part in the in post production. But what is Dave still in Chicago, or is he in New York, or is he dead, or is he in Japan?
You said he's an anime character.
Yeah, he's an anime character, so he's clearly in a manga book. So I guess wherever that manga book is in the world,
he's living on a bookshelf.
Okay, I don't think I'm gonna delete this part. Hopefully Dave listens. I don't think he will.
Guys, we've got our guest standing by.
Okay.
She's sitting.
All right. Okay. So, are we doing an interview right now?
She's sitting.
Are we doing an interview right now?
Let's do it.
Okay. Cool.
She's thrilled to be here.
All right. Is she reading a book the whole time? Like.
Yeah, it's about 12 time.
Did you like an experience?
Yeah, it was good. Your dad looks exactly like you.
Well, that's because I came out of, well,
Well, you came out of his ball sack. Is what.
I didn't think about that again. Maybe I didn't.
Okay, so we ready for the interview?
Sometimes people look like their family members, actually, believe it or not.
Is that Texas education kicking in?
Shut up.
All right, so first question, Megan. First of all, how are you doing today? Actually, no. Let me introduce her. First, okay, so we're now joined by a special guest in our very first special Talk-Nutt podcast. It's Meghan McCormick, aka Puck Bunnies, who's in 8th place, last playoff seed. So how are you doing? Wow. Okay, let's end this interview now. Are you gonna answer how you're doing, or?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Doing pretty well. I had today off, so it was a good day.
Okay, cool. No one cares.
Thanks for sharing.
how does it feel to be a pawn in this chess game that Brian calls a try at the Ron Talk-Nutt Invitational?
What does that mean?
You're a pawn. You're just his second team.
I am not Brian's second team. I
Oh.
drafted my team on my own.
Did you really? I thought you were auto-drafted.
No, he just.
No.
How do you think she got Boom Jenner on her team?
The dinner was a pickup.
Yeah.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
He was one of the best.
No, don't you enjoy that? Well, I need to look at your roster real fast.
Yeah, I'm looking. Who did you
Okay,
pick up?
yeah.
Because I see you have 3 moves, and I'm actually a little surprised that you even have like 3 moves. Like, who did you pick up?
These are.
Hansel.
I mean-
Hansel.
It's just like a great coincidence that you have Brandon Dubinsky, Nick Foligno, and Boone General on your team, and
Don't forget Derek Stepan. That's Brian's favorite player.
Oh,
so.
it's really
Derek Stepan was a returning player to the Puck Bunnies.
Which was-
After Brian told you, and Nick Foligno. Yeah, you.
Nick was not a returning player.
No, not a returning player. That's just a very influenced pick, I think.
Right.
Derek
I
Stepan.
can tell you the real reason why I have 3 Blue Jackets on my team. Because after Patrick Sharp was traded to the Dallas Stars, the Blue Jackets surpassed the Blackhawks as the most attractive team in the NHL. So I grabbed 3 players.
Oh no. The logic is flawed.
I feel
don't know
like
why
that's
I
still
was
influenced by Brian somehow. Brian, don't you think the Blue Jackets are the most attractive team in the league?
I know the most about the Blue Jackets because I hear about them on a daily basis, so...
That doesn't make them good players. though. Just,
I'm not saying
Throw that out
they're good.
no, I mean, that, you know what, to your credit, I think they really underperformed this year compared to what I expected. So
I think Nick Foligno was my biggest disappointment on the whole team.
yes,
We would agree with
I
that.
agree.
Why is he still on your team? Are you trying to trade him?
I
Do you know how to
have
trade?
trading him because he's my favorite Blue Jacket in real life.
Ooh.
Is it because you borrowed Brian's jersey or jersey?
Brian doesn't have a Foligno jersey.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he
Doesn't
does. Does?
Why did he not?
No, he doesn't.
Why did he
He has
give one
the
to you?
Eddie.
He has Vermetti.
Vermetti. You know Vermetti's available.
Well, I don't know what I was thinking. He's got Vermetti, but
Guys, this interview is going so swimmingly.
Foligno.
So- okay, real question. What's fun?
Take the question out of this microphone, all right? So, we're all aware that the Puck Bunnies finished in 3rd place last year.
Did
somehow.
Wait, did they really?
The biggest change last year this year.
I'd have to say that the loss of Alex Ovechkin hit the Pug Bunnies hard.
Why do you say that?
Are you reading off a teleprompter?
Heart and soul of the Pug Bunnies last year.
Oh my god.
Steve-O took him from me.
Fucking Steve-O.
You just kidnapped Alex Ovechkin.
Steve-O, please watch this. I want to hang out with Steve-O again. I haven't seen
What?
Steve-O in so long.
I haven't seen Steve-O. I actually texted him. He turned down a
Steve-O has
trade.
been pumping out the moves, though.
He actually, dude, he's right behind you. He's right on your heels.
He turned right out from under me.
Do you guys want to transition into the moves
Yes.
now then?
Well, actually, I do want to ask Meghan one last question. What's fun about this league? All right, okay, let's go to the next topic.
So who are we going to try to get as our guest for the next show?
We
You want
should.
to phone in Joel? I think we should get Joel.
Oh my God! If we could phone in Joel,
Look at Steve-O. I'd like to see.
I would like to do. Steve and Dave. Let's do Steve. Let's do a true NMQ. I guess we can get Joel
Get
to.
everybody in there.
Yeah, just is
Are
that
you eating
possible?
your microphone or something? Why are you so close to the screen?
Am I?
Oh no, now you're fine.
Okay.
That's really good.
I have a fat face. That's really what it boils down to. Okay, so are we going on to moves now? Oh wait, no, we're doing 2 teams, right? We're talking about 2 teams.
Yeah, let's pick the 2 teams, random number generate
Yeah.
that shit, and then we'll
Who has random number generator on their computer?
I'll get it.
I guess we all do, right? If we have internet.
All right, are we going based on standings?
Yeah, let's do standings.
Yeah,
All right, number 1.
should be me because I should be in first place, but I got unlucky this year.
So 1 and 4. So we're looking at Mike and Allison.
Ooh, well, Allison's easy.
We
I
were
mean,
also
that's
playing each other this week, by the way.
We're all. Oh wow, look at that.
And it turns out that she happens to have all the teams, all her players are having 4 games this week, and it sucks.
Excuses have already come out.
But on a serious note about Allison's, how the hell did she auto draft Patrick Kane, Anjay Kopitar, Jamie Benn, and Corey Schneider, like all on the same team? Like, how is that possible? Are we that bad at drafting?
Yes, that's the only reason.
I think we can address this on a later podcast when we're talking about auto drafting.
Yeah.
But she was a huge beneficiary of the Patrick Kane, terrible person, great hockey player slide in the draft.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, do we? That was definitely the reason he slid, right?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, not just because
He's not like a fantasy guy. He doesn't get hits. He doesn't get that many shots typically.
You know what? And honestly, I think he's even with the season he's having so far, I think he's still like slightly below a point per game for his career. I was reading this. I was actually kind of shocked that he's. I think he's like.
Because I think the most he put up was like 88.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I mean, how surprising is it that he's having like. What is he on pace for? Like 115 years? What was he on?
To me, it's really surprising.
I mean,
he's surprising just how good he's been.
Okay, he's right at a point per game. He's at 626 and 624, but before the season, he clearly was beneath that. He was not at a point per game.
I mean,
but this was also a guy who got drafted last year, I think, around the 10 spot. And so when you look year to year, I mean, 10 to what? That would have been almost 25, 20 to 25 range drafted this year. I think a lot of that's got to do with the off-ice issues.
The rape charge.
Yeah, and
did he have a bad season last year too, fantasy-wise? Because I feel like he was at plus minus, gets a shit ton of assists.
Well, I think he was injured last. I mean, he played only 61 games last year.
What?
Did he only play 61 games last year? Am I reading that right?
Yeah, he got hurt.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like on pace to like be in the scoring hunt, and then got hurt.
Yeah, because he was at a point per game last year, a little more than a point per game.
But I'm saying, well, if you look at his like fantasy points, they're like the proportion of hockey points he has to fantasy. So his lead in like hockey points is like 20% or something silly. Like he's got, like, was he at 69? The next highest is like 50.
That sounds about right. I just had NHL.com. I think that's about right. Yeah,
so maybe Jamie Benn's at like 56 or something. But like if you look at in terms of fantasy points, Patrick Kane's got like 250 fantasy. Here, I'll look at it. He doesn't have. He's got a much bigger lead in terms of hockey points than he does in terms of fantasy points. Like he's a much better stats player on the score sheet than he is stats player on the fantasy score sheet.
Is Jamie Benn number 2?
Jamie Benn's number 2 with 56.
In fantasy.
In fantasy.
I think
that sounds about right.
But I think that's part of the reason. Like, I don't think Patrick Kane is. He doesn't have the hidden stats. Like, he doesn't have the shots, the hits, the plus minus,
the penalty minutes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a guy like Jamie Benn's going to get a lot of hits, a lot of penalty minutes too. And
so Kane only has 9 more fantasy points than Jamie Benn right now.
I'm looking. It looks like he has 20 more.
This one, well, mine says 227 for Patrick Kane and 218 for Jamie Benn.
Yeah, mine says 249 for Kane and 229 for Benn.
Yeah, I've got Christians as well, but still,
when you look at that's still like a smaller lead. I see what you're saying. It's a smaller lead still.
And Ovechkin's not even close.
Yeah, he's at 214
hockey points, but he's like got 200. What do you guys have him at?
214. But that's because he gets like 30 shots and 30 hits a game too. Like.
What?
Because he gets like 30 shots and 30 hits a game. So he can not score and still have like a 10-point game. Not really, but actually a lot closer. Like that Detroit game where he had like 15 shots.
I can't.
Mike, can you okay, there we go. Okay, Brian, you froze up a little bit.
No? Okay.
All right. Yeah, so
anyway, though.
Okay, so we're talking about, what sucks? Well, with Allison seems that Corey Schneider's just such a damn good goalie, but New Jersey's been playing a lot better than they should, but it's still not a great team. I mean, he's not like playing for the Capitals. Like, he's not getting the benefit of wins like I am with Holtby. He's arguably having a better season. Like, so, yeah. I mean, Allison.
I think her team is definitely going to be. She's definitely overperforming up to this point.
Absolutely.
Like, I think that Patrick Kane's only going to come down.
Jake Muzzin's going to come down too.
Spots right now is not going to be playing for pretty much the rest of the fantasy season.
Once
her
Jake
defense
comes
kind of
back,
exposed.
Ryan it's not going to be playing.
Yeah.
She's definitely. Her team needs more.
Yeah.
I mean, Jake Muzzin's her best defenseman, right?
Just because she's had such a sick start. But I think there's definitely holes that need to be fixed if she wants to win the whole thing.
Agreed.
I don't think she's going to make those changes. I don't think she's going to fill those holes.
Well, see, auto draft doesn't auto change. Believe it or not.
Unfortunately, for like 10 of our 14 teams.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think she's going to win it all. I think she's in a good spot right now.
She's making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we're all.
Now let's refer to this other team that we're supposed to investigate this week.
All right, Christian, you want to take a look at a No Way Yossi?
Now, how are you supposed to pronounce that? Is that No Way Yossi or No Way Jose or Yossi or like how? I know his name is Yossi, but like I get what you're doing there. It's a good name. I'm just, how do you pronounce it?
See, I don't think it's a very good name. I felt like it's a pretty weak name. I just all the other people I could have been like. I was trying to do something with like Duchesne being a douche or something, and then I wasn't just trying to. So like I had all these, and like I tried to do Getzlaff and all that, but like the only one I could come up with was No Way Jose looks like Yossi. Like that's all I had. And I've been too lazy to change it. So
by the end of this podcast, I'm going to come up with an outstanding name for your team.
Well, that's. But yeah, so let's jump into it, boys.
Wow,
Yeah,
you're benching Pacioretty this week?
With the forwards.
You're benching Pacioretty this week?
Look at that, a bench player that he turned down in a trade.
Because he's got 2 games this week. And Andrew Shaw's got 4 more games and is playing with Jose and Taves. Come on. And they've been winning left and right. Been pumping out points. Great play. Solid play. All right.
Yeah, I would say up there. I mean, these two teams that we're talking about are the 2 best forwards groups in the league by far, right? Or not by far, but definitely, right? We can agree on that.
Probably. It'll be interesting to see if Getzlaff can play like Ryan Getzlaff, and then how much Mike Hoffman slows down, which, over the past year seems like none whatsoever.
Yeah, Mike Hoffman is sick nasty.
Yeah.
But still, so let's say Mike Hoffman slows down. I mean, this is me tooting my own horn defending the team. I still have some pretty sick forwards. I mean, Stamkos is a top 50 guy for sure.
And your defense is pretty good, too.
Who?
Your defense has been pretty good, too.
I know.
That's a really solid defensive group.
The only hole in my team is Ryan Miller right now. Mm-hmm. And if Robin Lehner comes back and can be a starting goalie for a team that's 500, I think I'm in pretty good spot.
Do you think Buffalo goes 500? Well, I mean,
I don't think Buffalo's a bad team.
I don't think so either. I actually, if you guys remember, I have them in my Eastern Conference Finals this year, my preseason.
Well, I think
Christian just killed all of the credibility that we had built up throughout the podcast.
Hey, those were gambles.
AKA none.
Those were gambles. Yeah, we have less than none. We have. Yeah.
I think with Eichel, Evander Kane, Ryan O'Reilly's been pretty.
That's a really nice.
Year.
And Biles was a good coach too.
Ristolainen's been a freak. He's also on my team.
Do we think Ristolainen comes back to earth a little bit?
Not really.
He's good.
I mean, he's been pretty consistently really good.
He's a good player.
Here's the thing with Buffalo, though. They're probably not going to make the playoffs this year, and they're not shy of embracing full tank mode. So, second half of the season, playoffs, fantasy playoffs.
You think they go for Austin Matthews?
Less than I mean, we saw last year when any goalie that won them a game just got shipped out.
Yeah, Michael Neuer.
Which I guess would be good for Robin Lehner, but...
Well, I don't know. I think he's also in a different spot because he didn't get to play all season, so he's not like gonna, go in there and he's still trying to earn a spot.
I mean, I think if you play the matchups, you can come up with a serviceable goalie.
That's what I've been doing the whole year. I've been trying to find somebody that's going to get a few starts, not playing any back-to-backs. As if there's an injured goalie, I throw him on the merry-go-round and then dump him off the next.
It's a really kind of interesting strategy. Like if you play fantasy football, I'm sure you're aware of like streaming quarterbacks. It's kind of like what Mike's doing with his goalies. He's streaming a different goalie week to week, and I actually don't think that's a bad play.
Well, but with Mike, with your team, I mean, you have pretty good depth at forward and defense. I mean, are you looking to make a trade for maybe at least, I guess, is Mrazek getting all the starts now for Detroit?
Yes, Mrazek's been an absolute stud. Mrazek is somebody I think that should be owned in any fantasy hockey league and starting any league.
Are you looking for maybe like a consistent starter for your second goalie? Like, I guess.
Yeah, I obviously wouldn't be complaining if I got one of those, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Markstrom take the reins in Vancouver or Lehner actually put together a streak. Like, I don't know if it's worth giving up a big name forward, which is every one of my forwards, for a goalie that might not be that big of an upgrade from the ones I've got.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
if I'm in your situation, I'd probably go after
holy cow! I didn't realize
not that they're
Mrazek.
just on my team, but like a Martin Jones or a Connor Hellebuck, some guy who's going to start almost every game, but probably won't cost you that much.
But isn't that
Except for Max Pacioretty. Except for Max Pacioretty.
That's all it's going to cost.
Well,
That's not going to cost that much.
Pacioretty, he's been slow the last couple of weeks, but he's
still Pacioretty
in terms of peripheral stats too. Like he gets great plus minus because he's good, and he's got the best goalie in the league behind him. Gets a bunch of hits, pumps out the shots. He's just a stud.
Here's a on-air trade request. Would you have considered it more if it was Blake Wheeler instead of Max Pacioretty?
Well, Blake Wheeler is one of my most underrated superstars this year. I don't know. My issue is like I was saying. I just don't know if I have that big of a need right now. Yeah. I think I want to let it play out and see where my goalie situation ends up, and then if I'm really desperate come playoff time, I might.
I had no idea Mrazek had a .931 save percentage.
Mrazek is very good this year. He's been an absolute stud. So I'm contemplating just dropping Jimmy Howard, and then picking up a new defenseman that I can rotate into my weekly matchup list.
Yeah. Well, that would be a situation to monitor then, leading up to the trade deadline, and see what Mike's goalie plan is.
When is the trade deadline?
It's March, I believe.
Okay, so we still have some time.
So, all right.
Rico is probably my worst performer right now.
Who?
On my whole team. Pareko.
Well, he's young, too.
He cooled off big time.
Yeah. That was kind of expected with the return of Kevin Shattenkirk, but I think he played well enough in his absence to kind of solidify a spot for himself.
Yeah. So maybe I drop Howard and pick up another defenseman. I had some scrub named Seth Jones, but I saw he was playing in the AHL basically, so.
This is true. Right.
Okay.
Christian, any last thoughts on Mike's team?
No, I don't want to play him in the playoffs. That's for sure. Not really. I don't really have any more to say about it. That's a good team. It'd be interesting to monitor if, as you said, if he gets any goalie. There are some stupid owners in this league. Aren't most of those owners in the same fantasy football league as you, Brian?
No, they are not actually.
Oh, okay. Well, are we ending this this very first
I think it's good.
season premiere episode of the Ron Talk-Nutt Invitational podcast?
Yeah, I don't know how many of these I'll be able to do. I'm going to start getting busy. No. Great time, but I'm going to start getting busy, so we'll have to do it a week by week type thing. But
you want to have a closing thoughts from each microphone?
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, does your microphone include Meghan's closing thoughts?
No, it does not.
Okay, then no.
Does your microphone include video of you? Because I like
it keeps turning off. All right.
Wow.
All right.
So any guesses on how long we've gone?
How long have we been going?
Yeah, recording.
52 minutes and 30 seconds.
48 minutes.
47 minutes.
Oh, recording? Oh,
Yeah, I recorded, a little bit after. Yeah, so I see what you did there. I can see your eyes.
Okay.
You know you're on video, right?
What?
You know you're on video, right? Like, we can see where you're looking.
No.
Okay, closing thoughts?
So closing thoughts from me. I think overall pretty successful other than the interview. I think that was something a bit better. Moving on, we might have to get some different guests shoveled in and out. Unless, well, I wouldn't mind to see Steve. That's my closing remark. My closing remark is that I want to see Steve making an appearance on the show at some point because he's the man.
Steve-O, if you're listening and you're this far in the podcast, please join our podcast, our Talk-Nutt podcast.
Also, my team is the best team ever, like it is every year.
All right, I think that's good for
Said Mike.
And the goalie carousel is going to win me it all.
Said Mike from 2011 on. I think that's going to be on Mike's headstone. My fantasy hockey team is the best team in the universe. All right, Brian, you want to go?
Closing thought from this microphone. Enjoy the podcast. Again, if anybody's actually listening, and wants to be on, just hit up one of us three, and we'll get you on the show. In terms of from here on out in the fantasy league, watch out for Steve's team. I think if we're kind of going through team by team, Steve-O Chow. I'd like to talk about his team next time we do the podcast because I think it's a real force.
Yeah, let's do that.
He should have won a lot more than 5 games, and he could be a legitimate third force in this league.
He actually has a really good team.
So,
okay, those are closing thoughts. All right, my closing thoughts. You know what? I think Chelsea's right. Mike is definitely Niall.
all right.
That's it.
Next time on the Garrison 5 podcast, where we just fun directions.
Yeah, we drop our album. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead.
And we danced all night to the best
Podcast.
ever. We knew every line. Now I can't remember how it goes, but I know that I won't forget her. 'Cause we danced all night to the best
Podcast.
ever. You went